Hoops Lounge, where we have more 4-point plays and a swaggy Peath jump shot. Today I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Marc Griffin. My name's Phil Boileau, both of us from hoopslounge.com. Today we'll be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers and their forthcoming kind of preview for the 2014-15 season. Let's dive right into this. So, Marc, we're looking at the Lakers, and obviously there's been a bunch of questions going forward. One of the things I've seen along the line is talking about that backcourt. Obviously, they have Steve Nash. Hopefully he's healthy the whole year. Kobe Bryant. Hopefully he's healthy the whole year. And Jeremy Lin. So the basic question is, with all their veteran savvy and such, compared to all these other teams that they're going to have to face up against that are young, athletic, and such, how do you think this team, assuming health, is going to stack up in the modern NBA?
Well, yeah, health is the ginormous question with Tinseltown there, and being in the Western Conference with this lineup they have, so many question marks and so much age. And by the way, happy 36th birthday, Kobe Bryant. Keep in mind, Steve Nash, they can still use the stretch provision on him, so he might not even be a Los Angeles. He might even be retired by the time the season starts, and he hasn't really played much basketball in the last 2 seasons. And Kobe, pretty similar situation health-wise. So I really don't have high expectations, but Kobe can pull a rabbit out of the hat sometimes, like he did 2 years ago, and that stretch run getting into the playoffs before his Achilles. So it'll be interesting to see if he can somehow pull it together, but I do not have high expectations at all for this team.
Exactly. Well, I mean, when you're talking about that backcourt, I think this is the epitome of one of those boom or bust backcourts.
Yeah.
I mean, should Steve Nash actually find a way to play, the possibilities of having Lin, Kobe, and Steve Nash, obviously there's other pieces involved, but they're the main ones. I mean, you do have Linsanity, you do have a very motivated Kobe Bryant. This could be a team that, if all the dominoes line up properly, is actually highly effective. We saw that Jeremy Lin is a capable scorer and can play the second fiddle role. I think he'll play a second fiddle with Kobe a little better than he would with James Harden. So I think there's going to be a little bit more of a veteran leadership there. I don't think Harden was really ready to share that backcourt limelight. But in the same breath, I think when you look at what they have done in their careers, there are very few backcourts who have the sustained excellence. I mean, you can say what you want about Jeremy Lin, but he has put up numbers. You can say what you want about the health of Steve Nash, but when he is healthy, he is productive. And you can say what you want about, Kobe's ability to share the ball and such, but obviously he's proven with 5 rings that he is an effective player going forward and, well, for the next 2 years. So this is one of those backcourts that I think is going to have some trouble with some speed. I mean, the likes of Russell Westbrook, Lillard, and all the rest they're going to have to face in the Western Conference are going to be tough. But I think they can stack up in a sneaky way, assuming that, old man time is not going against them and they stay out of the medical locker room. So the other point we're talking about backcourt there, and we have to touch on the front court. Obviously, losing Kobe's best bud there, Pau Gasols, to the Chicago Bulls, which we covered on a past show. They now have a new guard there. Holdover Jordan Hill is going to be manning the center position there. Robert Sacre is still there. They have some new faces at the power forward position. Carlos Boozer, who was amnestied by Chicago, so it was a weird kind of not trade that was a trade with Chicago. Julius Randle, 7th overall pick of this year's draft, who some feel was a top 3 player. And Ed Davis, who was always a favorite player of mine, drafted by the Toronto Raptors, traded to the Grizzlies, and then signed for a really cheap two-year, $2 million deal. Do you think this front court has the chance to maybe not dominate on its own, but be that supporting role and cast for Kobe Bryant?
Well, I mean, the one name that really sticks out to me there is Julius Randle. I mean, he's had a pretty decent career at Kentucky, and I think he had some leg issues going into the summertime, but he's got a lot of potential, that kid. And so, looking at that, I mean, Boozer amnestied by Chicago. That was like one of the league's biggest kept secrets. Everyone knew he wasn't going to stay there much longer, but losing Gasol is a huge loss for them, and hopefully he's going to do well himself in Chicago this season. But Robert Sacre is their center. I mean, he's an energy guy. He's Canadian. I love that. But it's just it's kind of like you mentioned before the show started. It's kind of an island of misfit toys. And then you got to bring in Byron Scott to coach, a brand new coach. You know, this is a lot of pieces being thrown together. And like I said, the medical staff is going to have a lot of issues on their hands, a lot of work all year round dealing with these guys. Now I don't have high expectations. I really think the Clippers have taken over the city, and this is kind of a swan song for Kobe.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I more or less agree with you. I think that there's going to be some production out of Boozer and Randle, although they both have the same knock against them. Their defensive prowess, so to say, is not really there. So I think Jordan Hill is going to be counted on more than maybe he should be. Same with Sacre, to really just be that last line of defense. Now, the X factor here is one of my favorite players in the NBA, just for comedic value. We started the show with him, Swaggy P, Nick Young. Yeah. He might not start. I think Wesley Johnson might get that start over him, but he could be that X factor. Do you think he could be enough of an X factor to be that sixth man, who really bolsters that kind of aging wing position? And comment on, do you think he's going to be more of a help or more of a distraction? Because looking at his personality, looking at Kobe Bean Bryant's, kind of seems like a bit of a clash.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying a year or two ago, the Lakers would make for a great reality TV show. There's so many personalities on the squad. Swaggy P fits in so well with kind of the Hollywood mentality. He's great for clicks, great for highlight reels, but like I said, there's going to be a lot, I think, butting heads behind the scenes with this team, and Steve Nash is going to have to kind of play captain and commander to keep things rolling, and that's a tough role for an older guy. And so, like I said, I do not want Byron Scott's job trying to bring a really challenging new squad. There's no chemistry between any of these guys. Trying to bring this together. And like I said, the Western Conference, man, I would not want to be a Los Angeles Laker right now.
No, it's tough, and Byron Scott obviously brought in because he's a Kobe Bryant favorite. So between that, the 2-year, $48 million deal, which is deemed an albatross contract in the NBA circles, this is all the last-ditch hope to appease Kobe and hopefully bring some relevancy to the Los Angeles Lakers. So I think we're both on the same bit. It would be a good feel-good story for a lot of players in this team, but the Lakers making the playoffs, I think we both see it as a bit of a long shot at this point.
Yeah, I would have to see major injuries from other teams, which can happen in the NBA, but I would say definitely a long shot.
Exactly. Well, that's been our summary of the Los Angeles Lakers for the 2014-15 season. Let us know what you think in the comments below, like and share. And always remember, get in contact with any of us on hoopslounge.com, contributor section at the top. We're always very active on Twitter, Facebook, and all the rest. And we'll have a bunch more coming up for you next time. Catch you next time on the Lounge.